While competing in Red Bull Paper Wings, I've been working on a lot of gliders for the airtime category. And in the airtime category, your basic objective is to stay in the air for as long as possible once you throw the plane. And this is easily the best plane that I've ever published for that kind of competition. With a good throw and a well-folded plane, this can fly in the air for up to 15 seconds, which is a very, very competitive score in that kind of competition. And even better, this thing looks like a bird. I think it's just absolutely beautiful. So it performs well, it looks great, and I have designed a template for Raven that I absolutely love. If you support me on patreon.com/foldableflight, you can download and print off this template, as well as over 60 others at this point, and it's an ever-growing library. Honestly, it's just a really, really good deal. So if you're interested, head over there and check that out. With all of that said, let's see this plane in flight, and then I'll teach you how to fold it. All you'll need in order to fold Raven is an 8.5 by 11 inch or A4 sheet of paper, and we're going to begin by folding this top edge here to the bottom edge. You can see I've already placed my crease, so that's nice and easy for me. And I'm going to open the paper back up and keep your left edge the left edge and flip the paper over like so. So now this is a mountain crease, and we're going to fold the top edge here to our left edge. My crease should go right through the top left corner, and I'm only creasing to this point here along that center crease. And now I'll unfold, and I'm going to do the same thing, taking this bottom edge to the left edge. And again, I'm just creasing to that point on my center crease. Just like so. And now I can fold the paper in half along that center crease, right like that, and stand this whole section up and now squash fold it, landing this spine here along that edge right there. And then I will open the paper back up and rotate it into this orientation here. And now I'm going to fold the top edge into the center and do that on both sides. I'll open that up and fold the top edge to this point right here. And now, when I open this up, notice that these outer diagonals are valley creases currently, and the inner ones are mountain creases. I'm going to flip my paper over so that the opposite is true, and I'm ready to make an important fold here. Basically, I'm folding from this point right here where this inner diagonal crease intersects that crease there, and I didn't quite get the intersection, so this is my point there. And I'm going to crease from that point up to where this center crease intersects the top edge. And I'm going to actually mark those on the other side of the paper as well really quickly, so you can see as I make this fold, I'm looking for this reference point right here where my center crease is intersecting the top edge, and that point there, which is the opposite side of that point right there. And I can open that up. And now I'm going to do the same exact crease on this side. Okay, and now we have what is kind of our set of pre-creases preparing us to make a collapse here. If you have followed me exactly so far, your creases should be mountain creases along this outer square or diamond here, valley creases along the inner diamond, and then this whole center crease, or not center crease, horizontal crease right now is a mountain crease. We're going to need to change that into a mountain crease along this section here. Between your outer diamond and inner diamond, this needs to be a valley. A mountain again through this section here. Valley, mountain. Okay, so let's prepare those creases. And I actually want this section down here on my center crease to be a mountain as well. Oh, that's not true. I need that to be a valley. Sorry for confusing you. So I'm popping these in, and you can kind of see the shape I'm creating. The basic thing that I'm going to be doing here, let me flip the paper over, is I'm folding this top point to that point right there. And as I do that, watch what the paper does. It's going to collapse into this shape here. So I'll show you that from the other side as well. So as I pull that down, let's make sure that this crease is doing exactly what it should do, going all the way to that point. Right like so. It kind of pulls in just like that as I bring those 2 points together, and it creates this shape. And then when you have it like this, you're just folding your plane in half so that these layers go on the outside. I know that was complicated. That's why this plane is considered an advanced model, but hopefully you were able to follow that with me. And now we're going to open this up along this existing crease that's in here, just like so. And you can see that doesn't lie flat just by doing that. So now you find this edge right there, and you're going to pull this layer down right along that, allowing a new crease to form from that point to that point there, and this whole thing to open outward as you do that. Land this edge right along that edge, and you can flatten like so. And we're going to flip the paper over and do the whole thing on this side as well. So I'm opening up along this existing crease right there. And then I can pull down right along the top edge of that layer, creating a crease there and a crease from that point to there as I flatten that and book match it to my other wing, just like so. Okay, so now this is going to become the nose of our plane here on the left side. I'm going to fold from this point where this edge is intersecting the top layer of my paper. I'm going to fold up to that corner there. Just like so. And then I'm going to open that up and reverse the crease I just made. And then tuck all of this tab here behind all of the other layers. Locks everything together. And I'll flip the plane over, here's my nose, and do the same thing on this side. So I'm folding from this point here to this point out here. Opening that up and reversing this crease. And tucking this tab behind everything else. Okay, and now, here's our nose. I'm folding from our nose to about 1 centimeter or 1/2 inch above this corner there. So this is the wing crease. Folding just like so. That can be an estimation at the back. It doesn't have to be an exact measurement. And I'll do the same exact thing on the other side. Flipping the paper over, folding this wing to match. And we have one more kind of tricky step left in the plane. You can see we are almost done, but the wings aren't quite shaped correctly yet. This step depends on whether you are using A4 or 8.5 by 11 paper. Basically, we're going to be folding this nose, grabbing both layers at the same time to a point along this wing crease here. And the way we determine which point we're folding to is whether you're using A4 or 8.5 by 11. So if you're using A4, find this crease that's running right along here, and just kind of imagine continuing that crease to this point right there. And that is the point you fold your nose to, and actually you want to aim just below it, slightly under this wing crease. So basically I would fold to about that point right there. And since I'm using A4, that is where I fold to. If I was using 8.5 by 11, I would fold basically to this point right here, the junction between this edge and that edge. And that would be kind of my target for folding these layers. It needs to be a bigger front section. So here, using A4, I fold right to that point just below this intersection. And now I have kind of these two mirrored creases. You can see one's a mountain, one's a valley. From this perspective, the one that is a valley, so the mountain over here, is the one I want to work with. Basically, I'm going to go ahead and fold in along that crease that already exists from that last step. And then I want to try and mirror that by reversing this crease on the other side. And you can kind of do that, but the layers are so thick that it's hard to reverse that really precisely. So make sure as you close this that your wings match up. And you can see mine don't quite match up. So I'm going to adjust this crease just a little bit until my wings are more similar, just like so. And now I'm ready to fold again on my wing crease here. So I'm not making any new crease, I'm just folding right along that. And you can see we've got this kind of elbow locking things together now. And once I do one side, I gently do the other side, being careful not to tear that center section right there. And that's kind of like a Lafosse lock right at the front of the plane. Okay, and now all that we have left to do is curve the wings. And the way we're going to do that is kind of just roll these really thick layers to start right at the front of the plane. But basically, you are working and you want to roll these two wings symmetrically so that they look just alike. And you want to bring it really down and let your wings droop below the plane and come down so the outer edges of your wings are basically level with this lowest point of the plane. That's really going to help its stability when you bring the outer edges of the wings down. So this left wing is about the way I want it curved, and I would just continue to curve this right wing until I get it in that same orientation. Now with the 8.5 by 11 version of this plane, you will probably need to add just a little bit of up elevator to the plane. And that just improves its balance. But with the A4 version, you're not going to need that probably. The other thing to note is that you don't really tune this plane the way you tune most planes. So if it's rolling to the left, that basically means your right wing is generating more lift than the left wing. You can curve your right wing a little bit more. So if it's rolling counterclockwise, you curve the right wing a bit more. If it's rolling clockwise, you curve your left wing a bit more. And if it's just erratic and not seeming like it's well balanced, make sure that the outer edges of your wings go lower than they currently are. And that's basically the key to balancing this paper airplane. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and good luck flying.